Hello, everybody, and welcome to Just Another Nerdy Podcast. I'm Jay, and today I'm here being joined by the awesome Ashgarde. Welcome, Rocker Angel and Silent Tremor. Thank you so much for joining us so far. For those of you who don't know, we are a podcast. Once a week on Mondays, I like to do an interview and highlight different streamers. For those of you who don't, for those of you who know who Zalthara is, she is actually our first interview. But today, Zalthara actually nominated Ashgarde for the interview, so I'm super excited. But just a quick social media spiel, guys. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook if you want to see kind of our updates and stuff. On Facebook, we're actually doing like whatever stories we're going to talk about for the week. We drop that on there on our Facebook, so facebook.com/Just Another Nerdy Podcast. And on Twitter, it's twitter.com/JA Nerdy Podcast. We're also going to be putting up clips of the interview. There we go. Sorry. So, guys, if you could actually do me a favor, if you guys see, like, if you hear something that you feel is clip worthy, that you kind of want to share out, anything that Ashgarde or I say, do me a favor, share that. I'm going to do a video shout out on Twitter with you guys, so I'll put that clip up. I'll put your name there. If not, you can just let me. But if you're more of a want to be hiding in the shadows, but it'd be awesome if you guys help me out. Just do clips and stuff like that, and I'll do shout outs for you. Also, you can find us if you don't have time to watch this live. You can actually watch us on YouTube. I'm going to put the whole interview up on YouTube later. And then you can also you can catch us if you just don't have time to sit down and watch it. You can catch us on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. You're also on Castbox if that's your speed. I don't know a lot of people who listen to Castbox. I didn't know Castbox is like last year, so check us out. Yeah, I thought they said they were pooping as well. So here we are. We got Ashgarde here. So Ashgarde, how you doing today?
I'm doing splendidly. Like I said earlier, I just woke up like about half an hour ago, but it's off to a roaring start.
Yeah, I woke up maybe like 3 hours ago. I've been trying to do things, trying to be productive and whatnot.
The
So,
productivity urge.
yeah,
Yikes.
it's been amazing. So Ashgarde, um let's pop into some questions and stuff. Let's get into the important stuff. So this, for those of you who don't know, this is an interview to get to know Ashgarde a bit. We're going to ask him some questions about his streaming style and all sorts of fun good stuff. But let's start off with a big question. Ashgarde, how long have you been streaming for?
Just coming up to about the 10-month mark this month.
Okay, wow. So you started probably what, March last year?
Yeah, around about March, yeah.
Okay. What got you into Twitch? Like, what got you to stream?
It's a strange variety of things that kind of dates back to when I first originally found streaming in general, which was I was a YouTube fiend. I used to just jump around YouTube watching random videos, and I saw this video for a game called Star Citizen, and I was like, I like the look of this game. I'm going to go watch this dude stream this thing because it came up with a little advertisement on his YouTube saying, I'm live right now. Come watch Star Citizen. I did. I'd never seen Twitch before. I'm like, oh my god, this place is amazing. Years down the line, I'm still watching Twitch, and people start saying, like, hey, maybe you should start streaming. And I'm like, maybe later. And eventually the idea just took root in my mind, and I thought I was getting to a bit of a crisis point with my own identity as well. Like, I realized I was not very sociable. I couldn't talk to people. I was struggling even to interact with people on the internet at this point. And I thought, streaming on Twitch, what's the worst it could do? The worst it could do, it could completely ruin my my remaining self-esteem. But on the upside, it could completely boost my social confidence. So I gave it a try. And that's all she wrote, kind of, really.
That's awesome. So, okay, so you gave it a shot. What was the first thing you streamed?
The first thing I streamed was a little known indie title called Nowhere Profit. It's sort of like a procedural deck builder type game. It's a bit like FTL crossed with Slay the Spire, in
Okay.
that it's like FTL in the sense that you jump from like point to point on a map, you read story things, you make decisions based on your thing. It's like a choose your own adventure style game in that regard. And then there's like battles if you get wrong choices and things like that. And that's where the deck building aspect comes in. It's really well done. It's all like a post apocalyptic narrative sort of thing. Really fun game. I think it's
That-
coming to Steam in March, actually.
Oh, it's coming to Steam in March. Well, how'd you get a hold of it?
I pay attention to a website called itch.io. It's where indie developers will post their games prior to them thinking it's in a complete enough state for Steam.
Isn't there like a lot of people that post to Steam already that's like with incomplete games?
Yeah, that's why I don't really like to look at Steam early access, because it doesn't have good quality. I think itch.io
Okay.
works better for it because most like bedroom coders will just immediately look at Steam early access and go, that's where I want to be. Whereas actual dedicated developers look at something that's not quite as in the open, like itch.io.
That's
And
awesome.
it's a really cool forum, honestly. I really like peeking in there. There is a lot of eh games in there, a lot of experimental games that just aren't really worth it, but you find odd gems like Nowhere Profit.
Okay, that's really cool. The Nowhere Profit you think is going to come to Steam in March for anyone who's interested.
Something
What?
around then.
So over these 10 months, you've probably been evolving your stream style a little. What type of games do you like to play?
Uh, I don't seem to have a huge level of style to. I don't have a genre niche really. I sort of dabble a lot because I have what I have coined as gamer ADHD. In that I will get an itch to play a certain game. I will play the game. I will suddenly get an itch to play a game completely wholly different. So I can go from like uh Battlefield to Rocket League within like a couple weeks, and I'll just be maining Rocket League for a while. Although I haven't actually done any Rocket League on stream, it's just that sort of example, really. I've been playing a lot of Enter the Gungeon, though. I will say that.
That's cool. Oh yeah, I think I saw something pop up. Tell me about that game. It's on the tip of my mind right now. Um,
Oh, and Enter the Gungeon.
yeah.
It's a roguelike twin stick shooter. In If you've ever seen the game Dead Cells, it's remarkably similar to that, or Binding of Isaac.
Oh, okay.
It's very much like Binding of Isaac, in that you go through floors of dungeons, you find weapons and upgrades to sort of better help you defeat the monsters that you encounter along the way, going deeper and deeper and deeper. You can get some completely crazy builds, like one I had the other day where I was the whole screen was nothing but bullets. I couldn't see myself. I couldn't see anything that was happening. It was just bullets.
That's so awesome. I think I remember because I wanted to pop in and check out your stream a little bit. And I think, if I remember right, I think you were starting around on that. And what I think you were doing was like doing a warm up. Like
Yeah, I
you do
do
like
like
a character warm up.
I do like a little run of the pilot, which is a relatively difficult character to play. I just run him because I've run him so much I know how he works. I run through him, I play a thing, I see how the run turns out, and then I go, all right, I think I'm in a good enough position to go for another objective, like something really difficult, and I'll try and aim for that for the rest of the stream.
Okay, that makes sense. I like when I this is this is so sad. My only equation to this is whenever I would play like Guitar Hero, I do like warm up songs and stuff. Uh, and that was like not even. I never even streamed Guitar Hero. Which, by the way, if you ever need a good laugh, watch someone play Guitar Hero. It's pretty funny.
Oh,
It's you see them
it's
clacking,
it's
like, a lot of clacking.
just clacking along. It's also quite funny to watch somebody playing like VR games. They've got like that live setup, so you can see them playing VR in VR. They just look so silly, flapping and flailing their arms around.
It would be a lot of me falling and screaming. Because
Oh, VR's a lot of fun though.
yeah, my brain just switched immediately to like because the one thing I always wanted to play in VR was Resident Evil 7. I was like, that'd be the
Oh,
first one I would go to.
oh yeah. I've tried my utmost to avoid horror things with my Vive because I know for a fact it's just going to end up getting broken if
Oh, that's a good
I
point.
try to.
Yeah. Funny story, I had a friend actually, he was playing he had a VR headset and he was playing a basketball game and I guess he got too much into it and he broke his ankle.
Oh,
Yeah, like I don't know
ouch.
how you I always thought like your lower extremities would be safe whilst playing VR, but not for him.
Oh
That's how
no.
you get into
See,
it.
it's funny actually because like you'll be playing VR and you'll think, oh, it's fine. You're just gonna flap your arms around, but you don't notice the unconscious movements you make with your legs at the same time until you really start getting into a thing. Like I could be playing Space Pirate Trainer, and I'll see laser beams coming at me, and I will jump to the side to try and avoid these laser beams, and then go, I didn't really need to do that, did I? But it feels good. Even though I'm in a tight, cramped space, and jumping to the side usually means I knock my lamp over.
Oh man. Oh. So over the past 10 months, I mean, whenever you started streaming, did you what like how did you start? I know you said something about like you were gonna start experimenting with webcam. So I'm assuming you just started with microphones and or like with a microphone and gameplay, right?
Yeah, I always sort of went with the notion that just my voice could carry me for a long time.
I feel like I mean you have and your theme is like Radio Ashgarde, right? Or at least that's like your Twitter
Hmm.
handle. Like you have
Yep.
that radio voice. You have that voice that's entertaining enough um to kind of carry. I mean, do you feel that's followed through?
Well, honestly, when I first started streaming, I wasn't trying to go anywhere really. I was just trying to put myself out there. And then people came in, they started complimenting the voice, and I'm like, all right, I don't need a webcam for this. And then I came across a legend known as Flaming Monocle. And he's been a great inspiration for me as a voice only streamer as well, because seeing him, and he just got to partner while I was going through like the early stages of streaming, and I realized, all right, I don't need a webcam. If as long as I'm comfortable, just like this, I can keep going. And it got to that point eventually, though, where I realized, because I'm not here to get popular, I'm not here to get subs or get fame or any of that. I was here predominantly to boost my own self esteem, plain and
Okay.
simple. And honestly, I one of my biggest issues with self-esteem is how I look. So it was like I didn't want people seeing how I looked.
Can I
That
just
freaked me out.
so I commented as the podcast on accident because handling two Twitter pages is a nightmare. But
Yeah.
you put up your picture, which I have here, which
Hmm.
it's really funny because it almost looks like I have you like locked in a cubby.
Yeah, it kind of does it a little bit, doesn't it?
But I mean, you put it out there and you're talking about, you had self-esteem issues with your face. You look awesome, by the way. Like I don't know. I mean, just the style and stuff of the picture, I absolutely love it. But I mean, you know, at least from my perspective, no worries there, man. You look awesome. So,
Yeah,
I know a lot of
I'm
people have self-esteem issues like that. I'm a little bit different. I'm shameless. I was born that way. So, you know, I understand that there's an understanding there that's different than, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to hand that compliment out to you. Um
put him in the Harry Potter cabinet.
yeah, put him in
Thanks, Sol.
That's awesome. Um
Yeah,
yeah.
I am just starting to transition into a physical face kind of thing, as it were, now, because towards the end of the year, I sort of burned myself out on Twitch. I thought, I don't know why I'm still doing this. I've kind of succeeded in my goal. after I went outside and I actually talked to a completely random stranger without any anxiety whatsoever, I realized the goal that I had for Twitch has kind of been met.
Yeah, I
I
was
didn't
gonna
need
ask
to
if that
keep
was
streaming for it.
working then. That's awesome.
Yeah, the goal has entirely been met. I am completely different to how I was when I first started streaming. When I first started streaming, I was like, "Hi, just playing a bit of, nowhere profit, I guess." Just complete wreck. Had just this massive shell around me. If you saw me in person back then, you'd have been like, "Wow, this guy is terrified." And completely different person now. I feel completely fine walking around outside. I get a little anxiety at night, but that's just because I live in a rough neighborhood. But
Yeah.
no more panic attacks or anything like that, so it's definitely worked. And I just decided, well, I don't want to give up on Twitch because I made so many awesome friends here. I mean, I've got such a great community built up around me, like Silent Tremors, Althara, Rocker Angel, fantastic people, and I don't want to just drop it. So I sort of looked at other ways I could sort of start improving myself, because that is just the theme of my channel, is my own improvement. And the next logical step was working on my physical self-esteem, which I imagine is going to take a fair few years.
Well, I mean, there's always like a number of things you can do. Like one of my favorite things about like podcasting or streaming on Twitch, like like it's like chest down. You can kind of frame it. So I kind of like I'll look at the camera and I'll be like, hey, not looking so bad on this stream today. But then I'll look in the mirror, I'll be like, damn, buddy, you need to get off the cupcakes. Like, so, I mean, it is a good idea because you can kind of frame yourself a little bit and make yourself a little nice, a little lighting, a little lighting and all that. It helps a lot, it does wonders.
Yeah, I need to work on my lighting before I start moving into webcams, I think.
Up. Okay, I'm gonna show you a little secret here. Okay, you want to know what my lighting is? It's a light. It's just a little crappy desk lamp. I just kind of point it against the wall and it helps a little bit. But like you can always do simple stuff to start with, and then eventually save up, and get a little bit more, a little more complicated stuff. I have like a because I have this whole like lighting rig in my closet for the podcast, but it's such a pain to pull out and put away, that I only pull it out like
Yeah.
once a week. So I'll tell you, it's just sometimes it's a little simpler that way. But yeah, so you would say probably the theme of your channel, like you're talking about, you're working on your own kind of like mental self-esteem. I see you talk a lot about mental health as well. Is that something you put a lot of effort into? Like I even saw like a really nice quote on your page about being there for people just to listen, if anything.
Yeah, I have always worked on that under that ethos that if I'm here for my own mental health, I should be there for other people's mental health too, because they're coming in, they're talking, and it's not fair that I'm the only one who benefits from this. So if someone comes in and they say they're having a bad time, I will stop the stream. And I've done it before, and people can turn around and say, "Yeah, he's done that. He's stopped a stream for a good half an hour just to talk to somebody about their problems." Because I'm not here for the gameplay. I'm not here for getting popular. I'm here for mental health. So I do a lot about mental health. I do a warm up bit at the start of streams where I will talk about my mental health. Usually it's just a fleeting kind of, oh, I've not slept very well these days, but I'll always make some kind of comment on my mental health to let people know it's okay to discuss your mental health and just work around it and work with it. Um, I stop streams if people need to talk about mental health. I have mental health channels in my Discord for people if they need to vent or ask for advice or anything like that about stuff that's getting them down. And I also run a sort of informal podcast, which I'm trying to get more traction going with it, because I have a bad habit with scheduling. I don't schedule things very well. And it's called Talk and Tea, and it's where I get myself and another streamer on, and we just talk pure mental health, like how mental health has affected us in streaming, how that's affecting us and how that's helping us, and just generalized mental health stuff, really.
So talking tea, where can people find that if they were looking for?
Oh, for the talking teas, you can find it on my channel more than anything, I believe. I have got a YouTube thing set up with one of the talking teas, but I just I cannot remember how to like do all the YouTube stuff. I'm happy enough just dealing with Twitch.
Yeah, it could be kind of a pain. I get you.
Yeah, it took so long because like I tried to upload it and then YouTube was like, "Oh, we've uploaded it, but we didn't upload it." And I'm sitting there like, "What?" And I try to re-upload it, and like, "You've already uploaded this content." And I'm like, "No, I haven't. You told me I haven't."
It might be something to do with like you have to go through like a verification process, I think, or
Yeah.
something,
I did
and
the I
it's
did the verification stuff, and it did eventually go through, but it was like
okay.
2 hours of me screaming hysterically at my
Oh yeah.
yeah, at
Oh
my
yeah.
PC.
A lot of it is kind of frustrating and saddening, but and it takes effort. I mean, I've kind of got it down to a rhythm now where I can drop the podcast on, like, I can import it over to YouTube from here, but then I can also convert it over to audio and drop it on iTunes and play and all that stuff. Um, and then you have to do all your posting and stuff. My wife is like, "What'd you do all day?" And I'm like, "I podcasted." And she's like, "It was like an hour and a half podcast." I'm like, "Yeah, but there's so much. There's
Yeah,
so
there's so
much."
much in the back end that people just don't see.
Yeah, it's a pain. It is, but um yeah, so okay, so primarily people can find your talking to you on your channel, which is cool because I can
Mhm.
just tell, guys, again, if any of you aren't, which I don't think that's the case right now, but anyways, if you're listening to this too, you know, Ashgarde, check him out. He's got a mental health podcast, and if you're having mental health issues, feel free to talk to him. That is, by the way, one of the coolest things, because if people were to talk about like advice for Twitch streamers and stuff, I hear a lot of people kind of say the same stuff where it's all about it's got to be fun or it's got to be beneficial to you before you find success, whether you're searching for success or not. So I think it's kind of a cool thing that what you're doing is you're looking for, like, you're not doing this for fame or for any of that. You're doing that for your own benefit.
Mhm.
um that's that's amazing. That almost, I mean, is that what you would say probably your, if you were to have a niche, that would be probably the best description, like mental health?
Yeah, I think that really is my niche, is just mental health. I mean, I even donate most of the proceeds that I get from my subscriptions to a local mental health charity, which greatly benefited me and my father over the years. And I've got a stack of letters from them, thanking me, and thanking my community for the money they've raised. And when the first one of those came through the door, I damn near cried.
That's awesome. That is really cool. Yeah, so how do you, so I want to kind of go back a little bit because you were talking a little bit earlier about how you said like Twitch really kind of helped you a lot with mental health, with anxiety, with dealing with people and stuff like that. But how specifically would you say like that happened? Like, what can you talk about, like instances and moments and stuff like that that kind of transformed you? You know what I mean?
Um, Specific moments. Oh, that's a tricky one. Because honestly, the change has been one of a gradual nature. Really, it's just been building and building and building. Just little steps in confidence, little reminders to myself saying, "Yeah, all right, maybe I am worth a bit more than I think I am." Like when my first donation came in, my first subscription, things like that. And it threw me completely off guard when I got my first subscription. I'm like, "Hey, whoa, what are you doing, pal? You're throwing money down the drain here." But some of the big things were like when I did my first talk and tea with a chap known as Kwai, who has been a long time friend of mine. And then afterwards, I had about 6, 7 people message me privately and say, "Hey, thank you so much for doing that. That really helped me feel less alone." And I just went, "Wow, maybe I do have some value." And that helped a lot. That helped a huge amount, honestly.
I mean, that's kind of cool, like discovering not like self-value is in people, like how many views you have, but self-value is in like these people saying specifically, you've affected my life. That kind of helps, that you'd say that helps you out a lot.
Yeah, I don't put a lot of stock in like how I'm doing. Like I don't care if I'm living in a mansion or I'm living from paycheck to paycheck, because I mean, people will tell me straight out like, "Hey, you've got to stop giving money to other people. You got to look after yourself." And I'm like, "I don't care. I don't care if I've got money. Take it. Take it. You need it more." And I kind of live for other people telling me that I'm making a difference for them and that I'm helping them and I matter to them because of the way I'm helping them.
That is really cool. So, okay, let's shift a little bit away from this like really awesome topic, which I regret a little bit. But let's go over to like, so I was going to talk about equipment there for a minute. You said you got,
Hold. Can I just pause you for a second?
yeah.
What do you mean by you regret it a little bit?
I regret stepping away from the topic because
Oh, right.
I'm enjoying it. I do apologize. I hope I didn't make you feel nervous there for a second. Like I regret
I was a little
I
nervous.
regret
I'm like, am I being too self-aggrandizing? I
No,
was
no,
panicking for
no.
a
I enjoy it.
moment.
I'm saying like I regret stepping away from the topic because
Right.
I
Okay.
don't
Okay.
because I yeah, like I'm learning a lot. Like it's one of those things. It's really cool to kind of hear someone's life philosophy and how like you hear. I mean, it seems like your life philosophy kind of buries into this idea of like finding self value by affecting others, not by how many views you have, by how much you're doing. And I don't know. I don't consider that I don't I don't know. I don't consider that self-grandalizing or anything like that. I think you're doing I think what you're doing is amazing. I think it's a good thing. And it's good for you to talk about it because then people can hear and see that there's a place to go. Which I thoroughly it's good. But I did want to talk a little bit about because I was trying to talk about your equipment for a minute
Yeah.
and I don't know
Sorry.
how we turned into this tangent, which is good. But so we were talking about like, so you're off webcam,
Hmm.
you just mentioned you got a brand new microphone. So this is your brand new microphone. You haven't quite
It
played with
is
the
indeed.
settings on Discord, but let's talk about like equipment and stuff. Like what did you start with and like how has that evolved?
Um, what I started with was a mid-tier PC because I've always been a gaming fiend. I've adored gaming just for it's always been a thing I can pour myself into. I can immerse myself and I can completely forget that I am me for a while. So I already had a pretty decent rig because it's the one thing that I do value and put a lot of time and effort into maintaining and upgrading and keeping relatively decent. I don't have a best of paychecks. When you're a full time carer for a family member, you don't get a lot of money, especially in England. Trust me.
Yeah, I don't
So,
have a lot of money and I'm taking care of myself and my wife. That's I don't know, have much money
right,
at all.
yeah. Well, you know the struggle then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I look after me and my dad, and it's not great money wise. But that aside, I think I started with a PC with an AMD FX 8350 CPU and Radeon R9 290 graphics card and like a basic 30 quid microphone and one monitor and a phone which I was using for chat. It wasn't great. It wasn't the best of setups. I was like what is it, 480? Something like that.
Oh,
480p
480p. Oh, wow.
480p streaming, and it wasn't like the best qualities. I didn't even have like a proper OBS sound set up at that point because I didn't know what one of them was. I just booted up OBS, well, Streamlabs OBS, and streamed.
Oh yes, well, I can tell you, Streamlabs OBS is very generous. The first time I ever booted up OBS, I had a panic attack because it doesn't tell you anything. Like Streamlabs
Yeah,
kind of
it
does the
really
same
doesn't.
thing, but OBS was just like, and it was like there wasn't a dark mode at the time, so you just open it up and it's just white,
Oh, yeah,
and you're
just
like, ah,
blaring.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I was like,
I
oh
was
my
exact
gosh,
same.
yeah.
Like I did OBS. I looked at it and just went, I just genuinely don't know what I'm doing. Can I just please stream? Can I just go straight to the streaming part, please? I don't want to do the technical stuff. Then I saw Streamlabs OBS as well because I was like umming and erring between the two, and I thought I'll go with OBS because it has plugin integrations. And I just switched to Streamlabs OBS, and it was like, hey, yeah, we're just going to run through the setup thing, and it's all done for you. Go have at it. I'm like, oh, okay,
Oh,
brilliant.
nice. Oh yeah.
But those first few months of streaming were absolute hell because I was just sitting there continuously, like glancing at my phone and realizing, oh dear, my phone is disconnected again because Twitch app sucks.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
improved slightly over the years, but it's still not where it should be. Um,
It still has that rampant issue where you'll be watching a stream and then the chat will just crash. The stream will just keep running in the background of your phone, but the chat will just crash.
huh.
And you have to like leave and then re-enter, then leave and then re-enter a second time to actually force the reconnection, and it was such a pain in the booty.
I I'm
So,
I'm like thrilled that they've just made it to where you can title your streams and stuff now. Like
oh god, yeah, that's nice.
their advancements in the past, like because I've been streaming for probably about 3 years. Like technical wise, I've learned a lot. Like I may not have a whole lot of viewer success, which whatever on that end, but like technical wise, I've gone through the gamut. And I started when they gave you nothing. They gave you nothing. They're like, just deal with it. Twitch was like, yeah, they were beasts back in the day. now
Yeah,
now
I
they got all
always
that
wondered, like,
Amazon money. They're not paying their employees, so I'm like,
yeah, they're not
okay.
paying their employees, they're forcing us to watch advertisements. Hey, it's a great time to be on Twitch.
Yeah.
Remember,
It's
guys, Ninja is hosting a New Year's Eve party.
Did he? Yeah, I saw something about that. I don't even I
That was a heck of a controversy. I
I
was just
heard
sitting there chuckling.
I heard something about it, but I didn't. Okay, so what was the controversy?
The controversy was that, well, you know how Twitch recently gave everybody advertisements unless you have Twitch Turbo?
Yeah.
Well, that sort of feeds into it a little bit, but everybody was a bit annoyed by that. And then Twitch recently, like just in the run up to New Year's Eve, started promoting Ninja's Fortnite New Year's Eve extravaganza thing that they were doing on people's channels.
Oh, yeah, that is a little taboo to be putting another streamer out
Yeah,
there on your channel.
it was a massive taboo. I mean, you go into somebody's channel and go, "Hey, can I get a shout out, please? I'm a streamer too." You will get banned, or you'll get a
Yeah.
very, 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 very stern talking to, a timeout for a while, and then probably banned.
Well, and it's on the I mean, if you ever look at like streamers so I've read a lot of articles where like be like streaming advice, and then they'll be like don'ts, and on the don't list, number 1 is always like don't spam people's chat to watch your
Don't self promote.
channel. Yeah,
Never
don't
self
self
promote.
promote. It's one of those things
Straight up don't.
because Twitch is not about like, hey, watch me. It's a community.
Yeah, it's
That's what
not.
it is.
It's. I mean, it's a competition because obviously, when it comes down to the bare roots of things, everybody's goals will collide with each other. But at the same time, it's not like a cutthroat competition. It's just what it is, and the best way to work with it is networking, not
Yeah.
backstabbing.
Well,
Like, one person will host another person, and then they may return the favor someday. You never know. But
well, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
theoretically, you host someone because you like them.
pretty much,
You
yeah.
you enjoy their content and you want to share that out. And communities build like, I was talking to when I interviewed Zalthar. She talked about the Batsy community, and what Batsies are, because I had no idea. I didn't know Batsies were a thing. But
Yeah, it's like
there's
every single channel has their own little community, and it's
yeah, and
it's fantastic.
it builds off an idea, and yours is off of mental health, which I mean that
Hmm.
connects to Zalthar in a specific way that I've seen. You know, so and it connects to that theme of Batsies, I think, a little bit as well. So you guys have that common thing, that like you that common ground. I can't say I can't say specifically I know exactly how you two have bonded, but you know, I mean, it's just you can see these connections between streamers, and it's built through like finding common ground and community, and thus that's how you grow and you make good friends. But when you're throwing it out there as Ninja, I'm Ninja, watch me because I'm Ninja. That one time I
Yeah,
had,
like Ninja needs any sort of help at all.
yeah, not
But
anymore. But
it's kind of crazy as well on that front with the whole ninja thing, is because uh, why does Ninja of all people need promoting on Twitch? Literally every single person on Twitch has at least heard the name Ninja. They may not know specifically who he is, but they have known of him. And if you're into Fortnite, you have almost certainly heard of him.
yeah, I mean, any main source media now knows Ninja, and anybody who's watched like a main source form of media knows Ninja because he was on the news for like so long,
Oh
and
yeah.
it was, you know, Ninja had this incredible success. Ninja makes this much money. Ninja. And so now if you
Yeah,
tell anybody I'm a
the man
Twitch,
who spawned so many little teeny boppers trying to
right?
stream Fortnite and become the next ninja because, hey, I could do it too.
I
No.
But it's an
Oh god.
interesting thing because now, like now, if you tell someone you're a Twitch streamer, someone might recognize that, but they're automatically going to equate you to Ninja.
They're either going to equate you to ninja, or they're just going to go, so you stream video games for a living? How does that work? Is that a real job? That's not a real job. What are you doing?
I
Ugh.
like.
When I told my family I was streaming, they all kind of raised the eyebrow at me.
I like it. Like I kind of like, because to me, and maybe we can equate this to you, because then we can bring the subject back to you. Um, well, I mean, yeah, because been on Ninja for probably far too long. But to me, the magic of Twitch is this idea that it's not just it's not playing, you know, playing video games is one of the parts of it, but it's mostly like performance and understanding technology and broadcasting, and then design. There's an element of design to it. So it is like it is an expression of who you are.
It is, yeah. It's like
You
it's
know?
all down to style. You look at your stream, for instance. You've got the banner up, you've got the interesting layout, you've got the little voice line box at the bottom there. That's your style. That's your theme. That's what you think is cool and flashy. You've got your awesome setup in the background there with like the District 9 poster, the Legend of Zelda book,
Oh yeah.
the little map. I think that's either Middle Earth or World of Warcraft. I think
That's
it's World
high.
of
It's
Warcraft.
Hyrule.
Oh, dang it. All right.
Yeah,
It's very hard to
it's
see just from like the bare corner.
it's the yeah. Well, so I got the special edition from the Zelda map, the special edition Zelda map, and I paid someone to frame, like matte frame it, and then
That's a
above it
cool
is
idea.
actually a special edition, like it's what is that, parchment paper. I have a parchment paper map of Skyrim as well above it.
Mm,
And then
that's pretty cool.
I got my Death Star for Christmas. If you put a coin in this, actually, I'm gonna show this off. I'm sorry, I have to show this off real quick.
Go ahead, go ahead.
So I'm pretty excited about this. Actually. So it's a piggy bank, because I have lots of spare change that I carry around, and I realized at one point that it equates to, like, I don't know, $20-$30 a month.
Hmm.
So I was like, I need a piggy bank, and then I found this at a Hallmark store, which still exists. I didn't realize, but anyways, so if you, I hope we can get the sound to go through, but if you put a coin in it,
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
makes it sound like
Ah,
you
I
blow
dig
up the
that.
Death Star. So I was
That
like,
is cool. I dig that.
I need that, but yeah, no, this is my podcasting setup. It blew my mind that you like pointed out the Zelda book though. I was like, yes.
Yeah, it just sticks out. That is It's definitely one of those eye-catching little pieces. I caught the District 9 poster just because I absolutely love Neil Blomkamp. He is definitely one of my favorite
The-
directors out there.
So I uh I I worked at a movie theater for probably about 10 years, and District 9 was one of those movies I got to see when I was watching movies for free all the time, and it was one of my favorite movies. It still is one of my favorite movies, like, of all time. It
Oh
was
god.
just fantastic. It's so cool. It's an idea. I love when someone can sit down and make a movie about an idea, and they made a big budget movie out of it,
Oh
about
yeah.
an idea explored in this way, and it blew up, it's because it's a good idea. It's not your next Marvel movie. It's not your next romantic, like, rom-com. It is just this original sci-fi idea, and it got a nice budget, and it was such a fun, like, it was I had a great time watching that movie. So that's
Yeah, it was just
one
one
of
of
my
those
favorite movie
movies that
posters.
really broke ground with a style. Like, yeah, we've had the documentary style before, but not in like that blending that District 9 had. It was at that weird juncture where you could pretty much believe that it had happened just from the
Yeah.
way it was like framed and done and everything. Like the main events of it were like, yeah, this happened and all this, and then you got the bit with Vickers van der Meres, which you could sort of take as fact or fiction, but like the main premise, it was like so well done. You could go and say, yeah, no, there was an alien ship over Johannesburg for quite a long time.
Well,
And as well, the fact that they were in Johannesburg, that said a
yeah,
lot. Because, good God, it's either London or America.
right?
That's where those things usually take place. And it was such a breath of fresh air that it was Johannesburg. And even right at the start of the whole movie, they're like, it could have been in anywhere. It could have been over Washington. It could have been over London. It was in Johannesburg.
It is a brilliant concept too. It's one that applies to, like, as sci-fi does. It applies to social commentary. You find something that you're afraid of and you cage it up, you know.
Hmm.
Um, which was I don't know. That's what I loved about it, and I appreciate that that point you just made, that it's in a part of the world that you don't get to see in
Yeah, I mean,
film,
it kind of
anyways.
became his cliche, though. I kind of hate the fact it became his cliche because it's like, first time, okay, cool. Second time, it's like, okay, we know you're just milking Johannesburg because Johannesburg.
Taxes. He probably has a tax break there that's, like, out of this world.
No, I think it's because he just has a close relationship to Johannesburg, and
That's true.
it is a really nice set for the sort of themes he wants to pursue. Although Chappie was a little, I raised my eyebrow a lot at Chappie. It was a good film, but at the same time, having Die Antwoord play Die Antwoord was just a bit too uncanny for me.
I enjoyed it for what it was. I felt that one was probably, of his work most recently, was probably the closest to the District 9 feels that I've had. Um,
Hmm.
I don't think I'll ever have that, a recreation of that feeling from District 9, but it
Yeah.
was the closest it's gotten. I love that we're talking movies too. This is one thing I've always wanted to I've
Well, that's
always
the thing
wanted
with
to get
Twitch, isn't it?
into.
It like you say earlier, it's not just games, it's movies, it's technical talk, it's pretty much just anything that people can connect with. I've
Yeah.
seen people just stop a game and just chat for a good solid 10, 20 minutes about the latest film they just watched because somebody came in and was like, "Hey, yo, did you see that movie?" And they're like, "Yeah, I did. It was a good film." And then they just talk for ages because they love films, and that's what I like about Twitch. It's
So,
predicated on gaming, so we're all here for the same sort of purposes, but we can branch.
I mean, that's the most beautiful thing about, because when I started, it was gaming, and I had actually heard about, like, a friend of mine was telling me stories about how oh no, it was him. He fell asleep gaming one time, and he was
Hmm.
streaming for, like, like, he straight up just slept the night while streaming. So I think he got a good 8 hours in. So he streamed for 8 hours, and he got banned because he wasn't gaming. Like, and that's what they, like,
Yeah.
Twitch themselves. So nowadays, though, you can cook, you can sew on stream, you can do whatever you want on stream, as long as, like, there's some sort of artistic expression behind it. And so it's
Yeah, you can
grown.
sing. You like Zolthara, she does mostly artwork. It's not even gaming related. It's just artwork.
Yeah, you can stream yourself
Uh,
drawing.
yeah,
You
or
know?
like my friend Bagel Rabbit, totally just doing a plug there. Sue me. My friend
No,
Bagel Rabbit plays
don't worry
violin.
about it. That's
He plays
what?
violin like over like people will just request random songs that they love. They'll request it. It'll come up on his thing, and he will ad lib violin over the top of it.
If I remember right, I have to double check, but I think I have like a whisper with might be working on Bagel Rabbit for one of these too. Bagel
Yeah.
Rabbit might
Oh,
be on our
if that's
thing.
my nomination, that it's totally either Bagel Rabbit or Plaid, because those two are fantastic people.
Yeah, you're gonna. I mean, any nominations are definitely appreciated. Because I had a big group of streamers that I was like, I love all these streamers. I want to talk to them, and then I did, and now I'm like, okay.
Where do I go from here?
And so I talked to Zalthar. I said, hey, who you got? And your name popped up, and I believe Bagel Rabbit popped up, if I'm right.
Yeah, Bagel Rabbit is
Um,
definitely a fantastic one because he just does something completely out of the norm to every other person.
and that's what's so fun. That's what I love about this stuff. But and then bringing it back to you, like the cool thing is like we find other streamers who their goal is not to play video games and have people watch them. Their goal is to improve themselves and improve others, in the world. Like this is whenever someone looks down on me for being a Twitch streamer, it's streamers like you and streamers like Bagel Rabbit that like they're the reason to be proud to be a Twitch streamer. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
That's why it's like,
I mean, more Bagel Rabbit, less me, I suppose. But
hey, you're affecting people's lives in a positive way and you're improving yourself. Like there's nothing more like honorable than that, you know. That's what I will say that to you because they're you know uh, I've cut like when I've processed, I've sat down and I thought from time to time like what do I want my impact to be, and I think like I want to make people laugh, but I also like when I do stuff like this I want people to learn.
yeah,
Yours,
yeah, without a doubt.
yours is like it is a very specific like I want to help improve your mental health and I will stop streaming so I can sit down and talk to you. That's awesome. Like that's awesome. Okay, so wow, we've been rambling for a while. Let's talk a little bit about your new microphone real quick.
Oh, my new microphone
Yeah.
is absolutely fantastic. It's a I got the box right next to me. Let me. It is a Rode NT USB studio quality microphone, and it was donated to me by the absolutely wonderful Zeshima. And I'm still kind of geeking out a little bit over that. Like, I don't know how to respond to people sending me things like this. I opened the box, and again, I had a moment of confusion. Saw the gift thing, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's right. Zeshima was going to send me the thing. I thought that was a joke." And then I just sort of sat there in front of my dad and was like, "I don't know how to respond to this. I kind of want to hug." That was about it.
Did you just hug your
Uh,
dad? Is that what you did? Like, I'm gonna hug you
yeah,
because I can't hug anyone
I
else.
straight
So
hugged my dad
I'm gonna
because
hug you.
I was sort of overwhelmed with gratitude that somebody could just see what I did and went, "Hey, I really appreciate you and I love what you're doing here. Have this so you can keep streaming." And that meant the world to me. It's happened a few times, honestly. Like when my chair first broke, because when I first started streaming, my chair just straight up snapped. The legs just broke under me, and I was like, "Well, I can't stream because I can't sit at my desk. I have to kneel, and it's really uncomfortable."
Oh yeah, I've been
And
try.
and a chap called Thorlar, you might have heard of him. He's actually about to donate $10,101 to Games Done Quick, like today,
Oh
thanks to his
wow,
community efforts. That's
that's so
fantastic.
awesome. Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, no problem. Have a chair." And I'm like, "What? It's like a £250 chair." He's like, "Yeah, no problem."
Oh
my
wow.
my motherboard fried on me halfway through streaming as well. I think it was about September. The motherboard just straight up died. And Zolfara and Plaid banded together and sent me like 400 quid and was like, here, build yourself a new PC. I have been immensely lucky this entire time for like my equipment side of things, and I still don't know how to respond to it. I'm still sitting here screaming, going, I want to give this money back to you, damn it. I don't want this money.
Well, okay, so just give
Sorry, I've
back.
gone completely off the topic of the microphone, haven't I? Good God.
Well, a little bit, but here, let me just leave you with it. Give back the way you've been giving back. You know, you give to the world. It's okay that the world gives to you sometimes. We were responsible, says Zolthara. But I mean,
Still, it's very hard for me to accept tokens of gratitude or good
I
faith or
get
anything
it.
like that.
Trust me, I get it. My PCs actually was sent to me by my sister. Her husband. So they sold a house. They had a lot of money. He bought himself a brand new PC. I asked what he was doing with his old PC because it's still a really really good PC. So I don't have like the best gaming PC ever, but I still have a really good PC. And he just my sister said, "Oh, we're sending it to you from Korea because they're living in Korea right now." She just sent it
Holy
to me.
moly, that's a long distance ship.
Yeah, yeah, she shipped it to me like a full PC, and this isn't like a tiny
Wow.
compact PC. This is a big ass PC. Shipped it to me, and it's one of those things like and a camera because I was doing another video series project for a while where I needed a nice camera to like record with, and she sent me the one that she was using because was buying a new one. And that was just, I mean, it's tough, like, but I mean, the best way you can do is just keep doing what you're doing, take that support and just earn it back with hours and like just say thank you like every day.
Yeah. It's kind of what I do, and I've realized, like, as time's gone by, I've stopped thanking like the earlier people for their generosity. It was Zeshima's thing that reminded me, "Hey, I'm here on the good graces of others. I should do more to sort of thank them for their support, even though they probably just like, forget about it. Stop talking about. Stop it. Stop getting mushy."
Yeah, yeah, it can be one of those things when you give someone something and they're like, "Hey, like you've said thank you 500 times." Thanks, but no more thank yous.
Yeah, just ease on the mushiness there, pal.
Yeah.
Dial it back a little.
Oh yeah. So, okay, so I guess we'll kind of roll into our final topic because we're hitting about that time. What if you were to have like advice for other streamers who wanted to get into streaming for any purpose really? What advice would you give them?
Hmm. I'd say focus entirely on the reason you want to stream. If you want to stream like me just to boost your self esteem, focus on that and work with it. Try and not lose sight of things because otherwise you will burn yourself out. If you try too hard to do a goal that you weren't really there for, you will just straight up burn out. If you're there to make money, fair play. It's not, and then it's not a goal that is to be frowned upon. Really, people will come to Twitch to make money. It's a career aspiration at this point. Just like people wanted to be the next Hollywood movie star, people now see Ninja and go, "Hey, I could maybe potentially do that too." Just be realistic with that goal. Not everybody makes that bank. You got in the last quarter of the year of 2018, 4.03 million streamers were on Twitch. You can guarantee that most of them don't get a lot of viewers. They don't get a lot of subscriptions or anything like that. It works up and up and up and up. You just have to put in the graft and the time and be, aware that this is a high risk thing which may not pan out for money. It's just the sad reality of it. Um, just as well, don't be like in people's faces about it. Don't promote yourself on other people's streams, and don't put your goal ahead of other people. Networking is arguably the most important thing on Twitch. Straight up. Uh, you might make money on Twitch, you might not. But if you play it right and do things correctly and don't be a jerk, you will come out with friends. That is a guarantee.
Right, I can appreciate that. That's some really good advice there. So, um oh, Okay, last question. This is really random. Um,
Okay.
Radio Ashgarde. That's your Twitter handle.
Yep.
Where did Radio Ashgarde come from? Where does Ashgarde, the
Um.
name Ashgarde in general, is that your actual name? Where
Well,
did that come
I can
from?
I, I
Is
can
what
I
I
can
mean.
run you through the whole history real quick. It's not a long
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
Uh,
Give me
my
the
name is
details.
Ash.
Okay,
My name is Ash, so that's where the Ash part of things
dope
comes
as
from.
hell. Thank you.
Well, my actual name is Ashley, but I detest the full variant, so it's always Ash.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, that's still cool.
History of bullying with the whole Ashley part of things, because around about that time, Mary Kate and Ashley was a thing, so everyone
Uh
was
huh.
like, "Why do you have a girl's name?" So Ash it is, even though I got Pokemon references too, but that's better than Mary Kate and Ashley, I suppose. But
So my real full name is Jared. So
mm,
I have heard the gamut of Subway jokes and the gallery of diamond
oh god,
jokes. I just it's I
yeah,
mean you
eventually it
go with
rolls
it.
off you.
Yeah, you go with
Although
it.
to this day, I'm still leery of Pokemon. I kind of lean away from like anytime someone brings up Pokemon, it's like, bad memories associated with it. Rather not
Not my
remember it.
thing.
Not my thing. Like, I'm sure I probably would enjoy it if I could just disassociate from the bad memories, but
I
hey ho,
get
that's
you.
a whole other kettle of fish. But yeah, I started playing games when I was a young, edgy teenager. And it's like, the dumb thing was to have a handle. You can't just go around calling yourself Ash. Don't work like that. So at the time, I was like, oh, what defines me? And then I looked over and went, oh, well, my Trilby hat, I guess. Because I always wore a Trilby hat because I was one of those edgy teenagers. So I was Trilby Ash for a fair amount of time. And eventually I got to the point where it was like, I was completely sick to death of the name. I'm like, I'm not an edgy teenager anymore. I don't even wear a Trilby hat anymore. I wear a bowler, but I can't call myself Bowler Ash because that
Oh shit. Uh-oh.
little
Oh
kid,
no. Oh, hey, so sorry.
Milady. Yep.
Are you okay? Well, my computer just went through
Oh
hell
yeah,
there. Sorry.
I've seen the stream freeze up a bit there.
Okay.
Oof, oof.
Okay, so
Okay.
sorry. We got to jump back a little bit. You
Yeah.
said oh, still
What
good.
was the last thing?
Still good. I
Yeah,
had
the
heard
stream's
you
still up.
say something about oh yeah, you're not an edgy teenager anymore.
Yep.
You're wearing a
I'm not an
bowler
edgy
cap.
teenager anymore. I wear a bowl hat now, but I can't call myself Bowler Ash because Bowler Ash sounds dumb. And I didn't want to keep going by Trilby Ash anymore because that sounded just so edgy, like pure neckbeard Milady levels of edge. Because when I first chose the name, I didn't have big delvings into the internet. I didn't know about the meme of the neckbeards or the Milady and things like that. So I was talking to some friends of mine while we were playing Killing Floor. Chap called Dan and Dan. It was two random people, both called Dan, who we just ended up calling Dan and Dan. And one of them was like, "Hey, what about Ashgard? Do a sort of play on Asgard." I went, that's actually not a bad idea. So I originally started out as Ashgard with Guard because I thought, I'll guard the ash and people can have that little he guards the ass, that whole joke.
I've never even
Because
okay.
it's funny. It was just a funny sort of thing because I know like everybody used to like make the joke about Ash ass sounding very similar. So I thought, Asgard, it's funny, it's a little less edgy, and it can also relate to Asgard and things like that. And I came to Twitch, and this is where the name sort of started to mutate a little bit because the original variant of Ashgard was taken. And
Oh.
to this day, I still don't know who the person is that holds that name because it's not an actual account on Twitch. I'm assuming it's something from pre-Twitch era when they used to have like outside sources for usernames. I'm not quite sure how it works, but I know they
Huh.
opened a ton up a while ago to people for name changes, but it's still never ever come up. So I just sort of went, all right, let's try the other variant, which is a little more Asgardian, I guess. Um, which definitely seemed to have worked. And I like it. I'm not quite sure how I feel still about it. I don't know whether I want to switch back to Ashgarde given the chance, but I think at this point, 10 months in, Ashgarde has kind of cemented itself a bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Um,
as branding goes, you may not want to change, like, because changing
yeah.
2 letters in your name, or however many letters, I
Yeah.
don't know, that would be a bit of a nightmare for finding you purposes, because people are
Yeah,
so
I mean,
used to spelling it.
I've seen a few people do like little quality of life changes to their branding. Like one chap I know called Maya used to be Maya underscore test because Maya was originally taken, so he just went with like Test Squadron because it was a sci-fi themed thing. Um, he changed. It worked pretty well for his branding. It didn't sound like he was just a test account. Plaid, he used to be It's Plaid, and Plaid just seems to work better, definitely.
Yeah,
It's just quality of life stuff like that. A shorter name is definitely better. You don't want to have like this really long-winded sort of name that people might forget to type or spell or whatever. Like I saw one guy who had this really, really convoluted username. It was like, good God. How am I supposed to spell that? I can't even like type it to shout it out. I have to use the autocomplete.
mine
Um,
mine was like mine was Diehm JD instead of, before it was J Diehm,
hmm.
because that was just, I don't know why, I was like, oh, I signed up for it and I didn't realize like that was going to be my username forever, and I was like, no.
Oh dear.
And that was before they let you change things. Eventually they let you
Yeah.
change it, and I'm like, time to change. And I just finally, like, I think I tried like 2 or 3 things, and I finally landed on just J Deem, which was a lot easier. I go by
Yeah,
J.
that's quite a streamlined username right there.
Yeah.
You want something that can stick out and be quite memorable after all.
The fun part about my name is whenever people read Diehm, like it's Diehm, they're like, and I'm like, that's the best thing. Popping into
Just
streams
do
and
the Arnie
watching
shout.
someone try to pronounce it, they're like, die.
Yeah, I quite find that amusing to do, like when people pop in the stream and it's like molten lava, and I just end up talking like Arnold Schwarzenegger for quite a long time.
That's,
And
yeah, there you go.
it's great. I enjoy that, but for like the purposes of being a streamer, it could be a little awkward to have a name like that.
It,
Like
yeah.
Duke McHuge, as just looking at my follow list right now, Duke McHuge is a fantastic sort of name because it really flows and sticks in your head.
Yeah, it hangs in there.
Yeah.
I had someone, she was actually our last interview. Her name's I'm the Mermaid Queen, which is
Hmm.
a quote from Home Movies. The first time she popped in on our podcast, I was like, I'm the damn mermaid queen. I couldn't read her name at all. Like, it was so bad. She was chuckling. She's like, no, it's I'm the mermaid queen. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
That was fun.
But but the radio part of my branding, I guess, came sort of a month or so into streaming because I hit like affiliate and I'm sitting there going, I still haven't really found a theme for the stream. Like I'm just me coming on, doing a little cast and then like slinking off into the shadows. If I want to build this up a little bit bigger, I kind of need a theme. And people are always like, "Hey, you've got a good radio voice," and I'm like, "Radio Ashgarde, it works. Roll with it."
It sounds good too. It rolls. It rolls really
Yeah,
well. Like we were just
and
talking about.
like on Twitter though, I genuinely would have called myself at Ashgarde, but it was taken, and I was annoyed
Oh,
because it's like it's weird because Twitch is the one place where Ashgarde is taken, but Twitter is the one place where Ashgarde is taken, and I don't get it. I don't understand how these username systems work. Who keeps taking these names at random?
you know the worst thing that I have is like, so for Just Another Nerdy Podcast, um Just Another Nerdy Podcast is too long for Twitter, but
Oh,
uh like JANP, the initials JANP, is too short. They're like, it's
oh
not
my
enough
god.
letters. It's like, but short by 1 or 2 letters, and I was like, really? And so I had to go with like JA Nerdy Podcast, which does not
JANP podcast,
yeah.
man.
Someone was saying I should go by Jan Pod, but then I'm like, people's gonna be like, who's Jan? So I was like, okay.
Surely you must be joking. No, and don't call me Shirley.
Yeah. I've been quoting that for months. No one gets me. I'm so happy you just said that. I'll just say that, and people are like, why is this crazy man mumbling in the corner? I'm like, hey.
That's excellent.
This is
Yeah, people,
part of
those obscure references is the things I live for.
part of the problem of shamelessness is like you have like shameless quotes that no one will understand, and they just stare at you. They're like, it's like, yeah, no, it's whatever.
Yeah,
I
like
did just
if
get so
people like
happy.
if people quote like music things to me, I will just sit there deadpanning because despite the fact that I'm a radio host, I am not a radio host that knows modern music.
Right?
I know like the 1920s and things like that. I'm like, I'll play Glenn Miller all day long, or Dean Martin, or
There
Bing
you
Crosby,
go.
or anything like that. I will play all that. You try and tell me about like Kate $ Heart, I will just be like, what?
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't.
it's Kesha. Who's Kesha? Why have they got a $ for an S? This is wrong.
You know what's weird is like, well, here's the thing. So I've known of some pop culture music just because when I worked at a pool, like I worked at a pool when I was younger, and like that music
Oh,
was all they played. They have
yep,
this station called Kiss 107 FM,
yep.
and Kiss FM plays the same music every 45 minutes. Like it's just a loop. And
Oh,
and when you
God,
work
that sounds like retail hell.
Yeah, when you work at like when you work at a city pool and like that's all they play that all day, and I'd be working like 11-hour shifts. And it's cool. It's an interesting idea too because like music can incept itself into your memories of a specific situation. So I'm reading books. So if I read specific books, I might hear a specific song because it was
It's a
played
small, small
over and
world. It's a
over and
small,
over
small
again.
world.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Oh,
why have I done
imagine
that to
that,
myself?
but like Kesha's party pop songs or whatever. Ooh, buddy. The Hobbit. The Hobbit's got a sick Kiss 107 FM soundtrack in my head now.
Oh God.
Well,
It's
Katy
it
Perry
it
and the Hobbit, you know, that's
it just reminds me of that scene from Inside Out. Triple dead gum will make you smile.
I
It
love it.
really did stick in my brain.
All right. Well, I think so. We've been going about an hour, so I think we're gonna close off here. But Ashgard, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. Um, Especially because you woke up like a half an hour before this, which is, I mean, to know that you woke up for this is awesome. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
insomnia is a pain.
Oh, I get you. Well, I mean, I don't get you, but I know that that can be a struggle for a lot of people. I have several people throughout my life that that's kind of how they function, and it sucks. Um,
Yep, just sleep when
yeah.
you can get it.
Yep.
That's how I roll.
So thank you so much, guys. Just a big thank you for everyone who hung out with us and watched Salthara. Thank you so much for the nomination. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. Uh, so if you're looking, so if anybody did clip anything, if anybody did happen to clip anything, I'm gonna do a shout out. I'm gonna do a video broadcast of that and a shout out on Twitter. So that'll end up there. If not, it'll just be general clips and stuff. But you'll get a shout out. If you don't want shout out, just let me know. Um,
Oh, no, I appreciate it. I mean,
and then
yeah.
yep.
Sorry.
Huh? Oh, that's all right. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just like, flailing my arms around, and I realized you can't see me.
Oh yeah.
I'm weird about people promoting me, but I'm also accepting of the fact that the people will want to do that at points. So I just sort of go, and flail my arms around. That's
Okay.
my response to it.
That's the other thing is if you guys want to check out Ashgard, yeah, you can hit him up at twitch.tv/Ashgard. It's just Ashgard, right?
Yep,
Yep.
Shgarde.
Be sure to check him out gaming, but also check out his podcast. What is it again?
Talking tea.
Talking Tea. Check out his podcast, which is located at the same spot. If you guys are struggling with any mental health issues, Ashgarde is an open book. No, not an open book. An open. What would you talk at? An open microphone, maybe.
I'm a shoulder to lean on.
so we're gonna have links in the description down below to be able to check out Ashgarde's Twitter and his Twitch page. So if you're listening to this later or you're watching this on YouTube, it's gonna be in the description down below. Again, you can find us. So we're gonna have this video up on YouTube. We're gonna put it up here shortly. So we'll put it up there. You can find us at Just Another Nerdy Podcast. As well, you can find this on Google, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Castbox, if that's your feed. You can just Google or look up Just Another New Podcast on those sources, and we will be there. Feel free to check those out. Again, we're going to be doing this every Monday. Next week, we're going to be doing Allura. She is actually, I think, a nomination from Smoke and Dank 5280. If I remember correctly.
That is quite a name.
Right?
I'm sorry. Smoke and Dank, what was it?
Smoke and Dank 5280.
That is a heck of a name.
So the thing about Dank is he lives in Denver, Colorado. That is an elevation in Colorado. So it's sort of the smile.
So he's telling you how high he is.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
And if you actually go to Denver, like 5280 is on everything there. Like that is a common number. And so and his shtick a little bit is he smokes weed on camera, and it's actually pretty funny. He has like a bong hit counter in the corner.
It's not quite my thing, but I love that theme. That is great.
But yeah. So Dank is. We've also interviewed Dank as well. He was maybe our third interview, I think. So if you haven't checked out the Dank interview, you can also check that out. It's going to be on the YouTube playlist, and it's also on our iTunes play and all that. So you can check that all out as well. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. And I probably should do a little self promo. I will be streaming 9 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays throughout the week. So you can catch me streaming some stuff at that point. I was going to stream at noon today, but I found out that Aquaman plays at like 12:30. So I never get to
your Twitch link.
I never get. Oh yeah, you can check me out at twitch.tv/JDiehm. Oh, and don't forget our you can also check us out. We have a Discord. There's a button down below. So if you're watching us on Twitch, there's buttons down below for everything. You can click on all the buttons, and they'll take you to all the places. But you can find me at twitch.tv/JDiehm. I'm going to be streaming throughout the week. But I was going to stream today, but I'm sorry guys, I never get to watch a movie during the day, but I get this rare opportunity. So I'm going to watch Aquaman today, and then you can talk to me throughout the week and ask me what I thought of Aquaman. I'll tell you. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. One more, yeah, right? That guy's a hunk of meat. I can't believe how huge he is.
I know, right?
So last thing though, I want to end where we started. Don't forget to go check out Ashgarde. Twitch.tv/Ashgarde. Or you can check them out at twitter.com/Radio Ashgarde. It's ASHGARD. Is there an E? There is an E.
Yep.
As in Asgard, but Ashgarde. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.